How's it hanging, YouTube? It's Peter here, your Ginger Jody Geek. Welcome back to the channel. And as ever, I'm joined by my two best pals on the U of the tube and in real life. We've got Efren from all the way over in San Diego. How are you, Efren?
Guys, what is going on, Comic Book Familia? I miss you guys. So, it's been like 2 weeks since I've seen James. I think Peter I spoke with last week, I think, off and on, But yeah, I'm glad to be on with you guys, So
good stuff. Always nice to see. And Efren, I'm clocking that rather stunning Star Wars image behind you there.
That's I got that at Star Wars Celebration, gosh, over 10 years ago now, So
very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
One of my favorites.
And we are joined as ever by our favourite Irish YouTuber, James T of the Keegan. How are you, James?
Heyo! What's up?
You indeed. You indeed. Are you good? Are you well?
I'm excellent. I'm very well. I'm looking forward to talk some TV shows and some movies.
Yep.
It's fun.
Now. Before we get into it, we started chatting as we usually do just before we went live there. And we started talking a little bitsy about some old 60s, 70s TV show. So interested if anybody in the chat remembers Lee Majors in The $6 Million Man. Because
favorite.
Yeah. Just amazing. They don't make shows like that anymore. But back in the day, James,
they make 100 shows like that now, Peter. That's the problem.
No,
that everybody CW
not
has
to that
six
quality.
Different superhero bloody.
None of them have the sound effects that the $6 Billion Man.
It's hard to explain, James, because you weren't around in the 70s like we were, man. I used to just I used to do that in my room, in my living room. I used to love that show.
Yeah. Every time you jumped over a step. Yeah, I love it. But there was a load of great ones at the time. Do you remember? Obviously, most people remember Knight Rider. But do you remember Street Hawk, which was like the motorbike version of that?
Yeah, and then I barely remember that one. Yeah.
Airwolf. Do you remember Airwolf?
Barely. Yeah.
They're just amazing, absolutely amazing. Let's see who we've got in the chat, guys. We've got Dead Man. He was here earlier. I'm planning on watching tonight, but I've just had 8 power cuts in an hour. Dear me, Dead Man, I hope it's sorted, mate. I hope it's sorted. We've got Von Hoot. Please do go check out Von Hoot's Saturday show. He started a new live show on Saturday night at 10 o'clock. I jumped on for a little bit with him after I finished my show. It was cracking. So please do check that out. Every Saturday, I believe, isn't it, Von Hoot, at 10 o'clock UK time. We've got Bat Dan. Always good to see you, Bat Dan. Bat Dan's just got some amazing books back from CGC that he got signed, I believe, at Thought Bubble, and sent them off for the signature verification that CGC are doing now.
Nice.
The labels, he put some pictures excuse me, on my group chat, and the labels look great, mate. I have to say I'm impressed with the black banner and everything. You've not got any yet, Efren, have you? Have you sent any off?
Not yet. I have two George Perez from Crisis on Infinite Earths. The one was Supergirl's dead and Superman's holding him. Yeah. Superman's holding Supergirl. I have 2 of those signed by him. I'm going to send those in.
Love that. Very cool. Very cool. We've got Andy. Nice to see you, Andy. Hope you're well. We've got Phil. Always good to see you, Phil. Rogue One Photography. Always a pleasure. Please do go check out Phil's Instagram, because he's got some amazing photos of 1/6 scale figures. Let's have a look. Von Hoot is familiar with the 6 million. Oh, the real question is, do you remember Thunder in Paradise? Now, I want to say, was that Hulk Hogan on a boat? Let us know in the chat if that was Hulk Hogan. What are you laughing at? I think that was Hulk Hogan on a boat.
Yeah.
Let us know if I'm remembering that. If that's just
already Hulk Hogan.
There we go. Hulk Hogan on a speedboat. Absolutely. Yeah. Bat Dan, Street Hawk was ace. Shame it only lasted 1 season. Yeah. I seem to remember one about a man who could change into different animals as well. Was it? I want to say a manimal. Anybody?
Yes, Manimal. Yeah, that's a thing, I think.
Efren, you're muted, bud.
Oh, Manimal. Yeah.
Manimal.
I seen it, but I don't remember much about it.
No, I mean, I used to enjoy that one, I think. Okay, guys, let's we've got quite a bit of stuff to get through tonight. This is just a general, a general chat. We're going to be covering all kinds of TV, movie news, comics, and things like that. We've got Sean in the chat. Nice to see you, Sean. And Von Hoot remembers Manimal. This I spotted this just before we went live, so you guys might not have seen this.
I saw it, yeah.
This is the trailer for Agatha. It was Agatha all along. Have you seen it yet, Efren?
I seen bits of it. For some reason, I wasn't paying much attention. I was multitasking, but yeah, I seen a little bit of it.
Looks interesting, I have to say. It looks not what I was expecting. James, what did you think?
I'm digging the spooky horror vibes. When it started, I was really into it because it was very like true detective-y. Like it looked like it was taking it very seriously. It's this kind of scary murder mystery thing was what it looked like it was going to be. And then the kind of the wisecracks and the marveliness came into it, and my interest in it dropped a little bit. So there's some stuff I really like the look of here, and like they're tying this is going to be like, you know, the last episode will be a couple of days before Halloween, I think. So it's their Halloween season thing. So it has potential, I think. Like, it's a couple years too late, I feel, because, you know, WandaVision was January 2021.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why is this coming now? So I hope it's good. I hope the theme song is in there because I love that song as well. So I want more Marvel horror stuff. So I'm like, I'm not gonna complain that this is a thing.
I'm gonna have to watch WandaVision again, the last few episodes, just to remember what happened to her in that series, but I forgot, you know.
Efren, you make a really interesting point there, and I'll tell you why. And we're going to come on to talk about the show later on. I watch Superman and Lois, as I think you do as well. Every single episode, without fail, the episode starts with a kind of a recap of what's happened in the season so far, and it gets you up to speed, so you know you can pick it up anytime you want. House of the Dragon, possibly one of the most complicated, convoluted bloody stories on Earth, is what, a year, 2 years off with screens or something? Comes back, not a friggin' recap at all. My wife is constantly saying to us, who's that? Who was that one? Who killed that one? Who stabbed that bloke in the eye? Would it kill you to give her just a quick recap of what happened last season?
Mine had seasons. No, the first episode didn't, but every succeeding episode has a recap of
what happened last episode.
For that one. So
I just want to know what happened 2 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Pay attention when it happened the first
James,
time.
you see, you've got a young mind. Do you know what I mean?
I watch 4-hour live streams on the lore of what's happening in those in that show.
Me and Efren struggle to know what we had for breakfast. Do you know what I mean? It's knee-ho.
Yeah.
I was excited in this trailer to see Wiccan. So a character that I particularly enjoy in the Marvel universe. Nice to see him make an appearance. Efren, are you excited about this show? Is this one that you're going to watch?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. You know, I'm intrigued by it. You know, it looks like hopefully it'll be scary enough. You know, hopefully it won't be lighthearted scariness. You know, hopefully they get deep into it. You know. Yeah.
Let one know in the chat if you're excited for this series, this Agatha series, shall we say? Because it looks interesting. Fuzzy Dunlop is in the chat. Nice to see you, Fuzzy. Hope you're well. 2 years too late, and like so many Marvel's new characters, they just disappeared. Shang-Chi, America, Agatha, nowhere to be seen. That is very true. And Sean saying, not excited, to be honest. I think everybody's bang on. I think, and James is right. It's a little too late. But yeah, I will watch it because it's Marvel, and we'll see.
But if it's a fantastic series, it's going to bring people back. You know, if the writing's good, you know, I think regardless, you know, I'll watch it.
Yeah, it might end up being like an Echo thing where we were kind of like, why are they making this? And the trailers came out, oh, this doesn't look great, and then it turned out to be one of the best things they've done in a while. So,
I guess my only slight disappointment, and I know the Marvel universe doesn't write TV just for me personally, but with all the different title changes and things like that, I thought this was going to be a bit of an anthology series. So I thought each episode would be a different page from the Darkhold and would get like an individual scary story or something like that.
And
this trailer doesn't feel like this.
I would have loved that. I don't think that's what the show is. I also was hoping it was going to be like Salem. We might get a flashback episode or something like that, but it's going to be set around Salem, and you might incorporate like Dracula or some of those characters kind of into it. But you know,
you have to remember Disney. They even said they're going to be slowing down on movies and TV shows. They're not going to be coming out as much. You know, so I think they've learned their lesson, and hopefully that means better quality. You know.
Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. First comic review. Just wanted to touch on this. This is Uncanny Valley. Either of you guys reading this?
Not yet.
This is really interesting. Let us know in the chat again, guys, if you're up to speed with this. I'll not give away spoilers for these books. Welcome, ABZ. Nice of you to join. Hope you're well. So this is Uncanny Valley. This is a really interesting series so far. So basically, this young lad, it turns out that his mother is a cartoon character, we think. So he's just kind of going to issue one. He's going around his usual business. Something happens, And then this cartoon kind of prospector turns up at his door, and that's his granddad. And it leads him down this whole kind of Looney Tunes chase, I guess you'd say, where the granddad's trying to take him to some being whilst he's being chased by evil crows, cartoon crows and things like that. It's really interesting. I'm not enjoying it as much as I enjoyed Something Epic, but you can see the kind of the mixing of the different art styles there on that last page in particular. It's just a really fun, colourful comic. I'm digging it, shall we say? I am digging it. And in this issue, there's you see the white kind of Street Fighter-esque character there. He transforms into a drivable buggy, which was a little bit strange. I wasn't expecting that.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's a good book, well worth picking up. I'd recommend people read it. I'd suggest it's probably a one. I don't know how many issues this one is. It might be a one to pick up once it's released in trade paperback. But what do you think of the art style? Do you like that mixing of cartoon and...
I always like when they do that. I always like seeing like homages to different art styles in the one page. I think it's quite cool.
Yeah.
Like you have your classic Disney and then Jungle Book kind of style, Lion King style. I think it's cool.
Yeah, I think it works well. I think it works. It's one that I think you'll like in particular, Efren, to be honest. Fuzzy is saying it might be like Echo. It might also be like The Acolyte. Oh, we're going to get to that, mate.
We'll get to that.
We just don't know. Yeah, The Acolyte. Oh. Deadman Uncanny is superb at 6 issues. Thank you, Deadman. So yeah, it might be worth picking up the trade rather than the individual issues. Something Epic early issue vibes. I completely agree, Dan. I completely agree. Although, for me, Something Epic was a very emotional story in terms of the quality of the writing. This feels more like a comic book, if that makes sense. It's a bit more reader friendly, I think. We've got MJ Comics. Nice to see you, my friend. I hope you are fit and well. Please do go check out MJ's show that he did on Saturday night with, is it the West Coast Avenger or West Coast Dan Avenger or something? Let me know in the chat, James, because it was a great show. Absolutely great show. Love this. Better than Feral, yeah. Invested in the characters, and I don't find it similar to Something Epic, though. Loved the new characters. I'm struggling with Feral. Are you still reading Feral, Efren, or have you?
I'm still reading it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Feral is, and this book is done by the Tony Fleece, who did Stray Dogs.
Yeah. Always. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. You've interviewed him, haven't you? Have you interviewed Tony?
Yeah, I did. And I interviewed him. Yeah.
Very cool. So
I'll
check
talk
that
to him.
interview.
If he's at Comic-Con, I'll tell him, what I think about his books. So
yeah. And just make sure we're getting another interview. Another interview would be nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, well worth a read is Uncanny Valley. I like that. Okay. We're gonna keep spoiler free as much as we can. Dave from the West Coast, Dave Vengers. That's it. This is The Boys, the latest episode. Have you seen this yet, Efren?
Not yet. No.
Okay, so we'll not go into too many spoilers then. I think people know what the show's about now. James, what are you thinking of Boys so far?
I mean, I love it. It's getting more and more unhinged as it goes on in terms of like what it's willing to show you on screen. There's some really hardcore stuff in this newest one. Some like kind of risque. Like sex stuff I just didn't think you could do on television, but I was like, all right, fair enough. So yeah, there's a really cool like Spider-Man parody kind of character. That was really funny to see like this version, and like I think the kind of the Boys twist on it was perfect as well in terms of like how he conjures webs up and where from and stuff, so yeah, and like there's actually been like moments in the last couple of episodes where like I can't even look, and that's very rare. For me to not even be able to look on the screen at what's happening, So yeah, I'm loving where the characters are going, where the story is going. Like I think it's good build up,
I mean, last episode we had the farmyard scene, which was just amazing. This episode just totally threw me in terms of, you're exactly right, James, how willing to push the envelope of decency it was and what they were going to do and things like that. The last scene with Homelander and Firecracker just absolutely creased us. Efren, whereabouts are you with it, Efren?
I think I've just watched the first episode. Okay. How many episodes are they into
this is
now?
The fourth or fifth.
Oh my god, I'm so far behind. I gotta catch up. So did you guys ever read the comic book, The Boys?
Yeah.
Just
So-
the first volume.
Okay, so it was graphic. I never read it, so I'm assuming it's graphic, like the TV show.
It was very graphic, very sexual, and very violent. But the show has deviated quite a bit from it. I actually prefer the show. I think.
Most people do.
Excuse me. I think the show is better.
Okay.
Just the characterizations is just great. Sean saying, "Boys is getting very kinky." Yeah.
So
yeah.
we have like a Spider-Man kind of parody character, but we also get a Batman parody character in it. Who I think he showed up very briefly in Gen Z, I think. Gen V.
He was in Gen Z.
But Tech Knight. So I think in the comics he's an Iron Man character, like a parody, but in this he's more Batman.
Yeah. He's cross between Batman and Iron Man.
And he was great. I just love like Homelander. He has a conversation with Homelander that Homelander has a really fun dig at him, and the shit he's got in his basement is interesting.
It's,
His
very,
Batcave is very different than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's good. Efren, you'll have to. What we'll do, Efren, is once we've all watched the full season, we'll do a season review because I'm interested to hear your thoughts on some of the stuff. Cancelled Feral with issue 4. No care for those cats. Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. Don't blame you. MJ called the Butcher reveal in this episode a while back. Yep,
Yeah,
agree.
same.
My wife always walks in on me watching the most inappropriate scenes in this show. Yeah, and anyone fancy a glass? A jet of milk. Yeah. Yeah, a good one. It's a good one. It's well worth a watch. Efren, you've got San Diego Comic-Con just around the corner. Tell a little bit about this.
Yeah, it's about 15 days away. I mean, you can feel it ramping up here. I was in downtown San Diego this weekend, and the banners are going up, and they're like side views of the Fantastic Four. And then, it's just ramping up more and more. Go ahead.
Sorry, Efren, when you say side views of the Fantastic Four, we're talking the comic book or the movie?
No, it doesn't then look like anything I've ever seen before. Comic book or movie. It's just a different artwork. It looks like a comic book, but the artwork, I've never seen this artist before, and just got side views of all the characters.
I wondered if it would be something from the new movie coming out.
If Pedro's going to be at this fucking
It
thing,
doesn't look like that movie
not.
movie actors at all. I mean, it does look like a comic book, but it's an artist that I've never seen before.
Well, Marvel's back in Hall H.
They are back in Hall H.
Surely Fantastic Four is the thing that you need the panel for.
Fantastic Four, they said that it's going to start production like the day after. So they might not have anything, any clips to show for that.
They might have like I think there'd be maybe a Doom cast announcement, maybe.
Yeah, what I would think is the characters are going to come out.
They'll all be there. Sure, 100%. Yeah.
I won't be there, but yeah.
How you got 15 days? Did you say, Efren?
About 15 days for Comic-Con. Yes.
You could grow a little mustache by then, couldn't you? I'm just thinking you could pitch for Willie Lumpkin. Do you know what I mean? The little postman from the Fantastic Four. You could see if you could get yourself in the movie. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I could grow my mustache. It'll have to be Latino, Refredo Lumpkin.
And I'd imagine someone's going to walk out with a cap to reveal they're playing an actor in the movies. Never going to happen.
A lot of times, not a lot of times, but every now and then, actors they roam they roam the convention center, but they wear a mask.
Yeah,
and they just. I think Tobey Maguire did it one year. Other actors do it too. They don't want.
Bryan Cranston went around in a Heisenberg mask.
Bryan Cranston.
I could see Pedro going around in like a Mandalorian getup or something like that. I think that'd be.
Be funny.
What
I'm hearing there, Efren, is just anytime you see anyone in a mask, just rip it off. Rip it off. Just to see. Yeah. Assume it's Pedro and tackle them to the ground for James.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so it's coming up in about 15 days, and it's just more and more, little by little, they're going to start announcing, exclusives more and more. There's this new one by Trinity Comics. It's by Humberto Ramos. Looks pretty nice. They just showed it today.
So is there anything in particular you've got your sights set on?
No, to be honest with you, I was talking to my cousin and I was saying, hopefully this one will be more of a laid back one. I'm just trying to have fun. And not go overboard anymore with these exclusives. I'm going to try to stay away from the lines as much as possible. The panels to go to are the Marvel panels because they always give away free comic books. And last year, that Transformer book I got you, Peter, from IDW? Well, they had a panel right after a Marvel panel and I left and they gave it a black and white version of that one.
Oh, right, yeah.
And that one skyrocketed in price. So for me, I'm going to try to hit those panels, comic book related panels, but they always give away stuff.
Yeah. And remind us, Efren, is it Friday till Monday, or is it
No, it's
just
Wednesday. Wednesday is preview night, which starts like at 6:00 until 9. And then after that, it ends Sunday.
Okay.
So basically, it's 5 days.
So are you there for the full thing?
Say that again.
Are you there for every day?
Yeah, I'm going to be there every day. And
We did 2 days of Star Wars Celebration and it nearly killed us.
Yeah.
We were just not. We had tickets for the next day. We didn't go because we were just like, it's too much.
It's it is a lot. I won't lie to you, And hopefully, Peter, you'll go on Saturday so I can show you around, not the convention center, but the outside behind the marina, where a lot of 20th Century Fox is there. Other production companies are there too. It's pretty cool to see. Something different you guys haven't seen before.
Yeah, definitely. We'll do something different. But Dan's saying, what the F is Comic Con cruise that's being announced? I've not heard
It's
that
a cruise. I don't know if it's going on this year or not, but it's just a cruise. Basically, it's I guess it's run by the Comic Con International. I think some actors are going to be there too. It's going to be Comic Con related. That's as far as I know. I think it goes to Mexico. It's like about a 3 to 4 day cruise. If you're a Comic Con geek, I guess people would do it.
Imagine James, imagine Pedro on the boat and he can't get off. You can't get off because you're at sea.
I know.
Yeah.
He'd probably jump overboard, I would say, to get away from me. After
Peter would just be standing right by his cabin door all the time.
Yeah.
Let me in.
Now, Efren, you're also going to be presenting at the Comic Con, aren't you?
Yeah, this is going to be our 3rd year doing a panel. Basically, so you want to start a comic YouTube channel, and we're just going to talk. Myself and 3 other people. We're just going to talk why and how we started a YouTube channel. This is our 3rd year of doing it, but they give you extra perks, and I had no idea because the first year I did this, they give us 6 free badges that we can give out to anybody, and 6 badges if you want to pay for them regular priced. Plus the people that are in the panel, they give you a badge too.
That's incredible.
So that's 12, 12 entries between. Is that between everybody on the panel or each?
So everybody in the panel gets a badge. Okay. And then after that, they give us the ability to give out 6 free badges.
The entirety of the panel, not just
for all the 5 days.
6 total. Yeah.
6 total. And after that, if people, they give us the ability to buy 6 badges.
So 12,
but that
12 half price badges basically
that's
pretty good.
That's brilliant in itself, isn't it? Because getting a hold of these badges, even to buy them, is impossible at times.
But that means that's also, for us, Peter, it means we're guaranteed if you want. Provided Efren picks us, of course.
Efren would pick me. Yeah.
If we're among the 12, I might just not make the cut.
If you guys ever want to come, I will reserve 2 badges for you. I can tell you right now. I will just reserve outright. And anybody who ever wants to come visit San Diego or Southern California, right now is the best time to come, weather-wise. It's not too hot and it's not too cold. Right now it's about the upper 70s here, and it's not boiling. That's like in August and September, starts getting hotter.
It's different.
It's still hot. That's still hot.
What's that in our
scorching? That's like the surface of the sun.
So if you ever want anybody that's watching, you guys, this is the perfect time to come to San Diego. Besides Comic-Con.
Good stuff. I hope you have a brilliant time, mate. I really
and I'll
do.
be going live throughout, like I did last year. Throughout the 4 or 5 days, I'll be just posting live on Instagram constantly.
Brilliant. I wanted to mention this comic just very, very briefly. This is Chitara. This is a spin-off from the Thundercats book, which is crap. The Thundercats book is awful. This was all right. It didn't blow us away, but it was less offensive than the actual regular Thundercats book. Again, let me know in the chat if anybody's been reading this. I enjoyed this more than the Thundercats. Either of you reading the Thundercats run at the moment?
I don't believe so, but I'm going to read this because
I was so embarrassed by your interaction with the writer or artist that I was going to say like.
Yeah. So, did you say you're going to read this one, Efren?
I'm going to read it because Art Adams, he's going to have a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive on this book.
All right.
So, okay. I'm planning to get that book from him, so.
Very cool. Very cool. I just wanted to mention these. I don't know if you've seen these yet, James. This is the Hono Wolverine figure. They've put out a yellow version costume, which I bought. Today they've announced this limited version one for 1,500 pieces of the classic brown costume. And this is an entry level figure, but this figure will cost you around about $220. So I don't know what I think. I don't know what I think of that. I've bought the yellow.
It looks a bit. It's like shit stained brown.
It's plasticky, I think.
I think you need some kind of something to break up the chest piece of it. Like it's too.
Yeah,
it's
not
too
to mention
one
it.
note. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I thought he was holding a lightsaber.
So that's I can't remember what it's called, but that's direct from the comics. It's the I don't know.
I think I know which page you're talking about.
It's the only one that can negate his healing factor, so it can kill him. The central figure there is Iron Man Mark III die-cast figure, absolutely beautiful, chrome looking. That's around about £370, but it's a nice looking piece. Not one I'll get, but it is a nice looking piece.
Is this the only 1/6 slide you have?
There's one more.
Okay. Is that the thing that was announced today?
It's something that was announced today. Yeah.
Okay.
That
Does
you
the
might
band
like.
light up?
Yes, I think it does, Efren. I think it does. Yeah. Pretty cool. But I just thought I'd throw them in because we haven't got a toy show for a while. I'll not be buying that Wolverine. I can't get another bloody Wolverine. Okay, the Acolyte. Efren, are you up to date?
We have to do spoilers for this. We have to.
Are you up to date with the Acolyte, Efren?
I see. I'm up. I missed this last episode. I mean, the big.
You've watched episode 5 though.
Yes.
Okay. Right. We don't need to talk about the newest one. The newest one has nothing to spoil. I don't think.
Nothing happens in the newest one, James. That's why.
Yeah, okay. Who's starting?
Well, Efren, you can start because you've watched up.
Unbiased.
Yeah.
What do you think?
What are you thinking of this series?
Guys, I like it. It's been entertaining. It's something that I haven't seen before. Star Wars. I mean, these characters are new. So I myself have liked it. I know a lot of people have been saying it's no good, it's not worth it. But even at the first 4 episodes, I liked it too. I don't know. For some reason, I'm just liking it. I'm enjoying it.
You're allowed to, Efren. That's fine. Yeah. That's fine. You're allowed to like it. For me, I enjoyed 1 episode. The rest of it's just been okay. I don't like some of the acting in it. I don't like some of the characters in it. I think they're very wooden. But I did enjoy the lightsaber battle. I've upset him. I did like. I mean, the last episode, James, was just dire. Now it happened. That's by the by. What do you think? You enjoyed this more than me, I think.
So we talked tonight. Only seen the first episode, and I was like, "Why is everyone so mad? This is fine. There's nothing wrong with this." And I watched the first 3 episodes. I remember the 3rd episode. Everybody's saying, "This is the worst thing to ever happen to Star Wars." Oh my god! I watched it. I was like, "This is decent. I don't have a problem with this." I feel like I'm in like an abusive relationship with the show because I want to love it so much and it does a thing I like and then it pulls me in and then it smacks me across the face with shit characters and bad writing. So that's the problem. The main characters don't do anything. Then why are they the main character? Why are they even in this show? It'd be more interesting if you focused on I think the villain is really cool. I think 2 particularly the Jedi characters, the main Jedi character is awesome, I think, and his apprentice was cool. She's dead now, and the fight scenes are good. There's good stuff in it, but then just it's just not what they sold us. This was supposed to be a show about a Sith apprentice and their master, a Jedi and the master, and a murder mystery, and there's elements of that, but it's focusing on the wrong thing, and certain characters just dramatically changed their mind, on a whim of what we don't know. At episode 6, we're 3/4 through the show, what the main characters want, why they want it, what their goal is. We don't know that, and they're the main characters. One minute, oh, we're doing the bad thing. Next minute, oh, I'm going to turn myself into the Jedi. Then they meet a Jedi, they try and kill the Jedi. It's what's happening? What is this?
I think for me, a lot of people got upset with the changes to the law and stuff like that, and that didn't faze me a great deal.
Yeah.
My issue with this is that I think the writing is just dire, and I don't care about most of the characters. And I think, for me, don't tease us as a kind of a casual Star Wars fan. Don't tease us with the excitement of seeing a Wookiee Jedi, and then just kill him without any. He didn't get his saber out or anything. It's how are you?
It feels like it's the pacing is just dog shit. Episodes always end mid-scene on a cool thing. Like it feels like episodes were supposed to be an hour long and they've chopped it in the center. Yeah. No episode ends in a satisfying way. You never feel like you got a full episode when you watch it. So it's just frustrating to watch. Like
but James, positive. The bad guy, I do like, mind.
I love him. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I love the design. Lightsaber fights were incredible. I think like that's probably the best lightsaber fight since like episode 3, Anakin and Obi-Wan. I would put it up there.
I agree.
I liked that it had the balls to kill main characters, quite a few of them as well. You know, like I really didn't see that coming, and like particularly one character. So I like that. It's just like it presents a mystery in the first episode, and we're 3/4 and we've not gotten any more information on that. You know, I like some of the ideas this is exploring. You know, is the Jedi going and taking kids? That's a bit sketchy, isn't it? Like, and I like looking at that. I like looking at like the bad things the Jedi do. I like the idea of exploring why someone would want to be a Sith. I think that's an interesting thing to do as well. But why are you giving us 2 shit characters to focus on that don't do anything or impact the story in any way? Why are they in this?
Yeah. Before we jump to the chat, anything else you want to add, Efren, about that?
I didn't like when we were talking about these other main characters that they killed them off. You know, the little girl Jedi, they killed her off, and the other apprentice. I go, why are they killing them off so early for? And I agree that Wookiee. I was like, oh, cool. You know, a Wookiee Jedi dude had like a basic death. They didn't even really show him.
We didn't see him die, did we?
But I still like the show. So.
Sean saying the only one good episode so far.
I didn't hate the newest one because I think at least it's giving us.
It's boring.
No, but at least this is what the newest episode is the closest to what they promised, which was we're getting a Sith character like taking on this an acolyte kind of thing, you know, like an exploration of why they're doing what they're doing. I think that's good.
One thing I didn't get is this Sith character. How is he so powerful? He was just a regular Jedi. I mean, he was tossing everybody around like it was like leaves, just pushing people back and forth. I go, he's that more powerful?
And midichlorians, you know.
Say that again.
Midichlorians, who knows? But that you know, it just pissed me off when like he shows up and he does the Force push and they just cut end of episode. Yeah. It's like, really? Imagine that whole episode. You'd have had like a boring episode, and then there's a big ass lightsaber fight. You'd have to. If that had been one episode, episode 4 and 5, people would have gone lost their shit. They'd have loved it.
Yeah. What is he saying here? 40 years we've been told Luke's the chosen one, and then the series comes along and does away with that.
No. Okay.
It does?
Thank you for bringing that up.
The twins are boring.
We don't know what the story is with. So he's referring to the fact that in episode 3, it's referenced that they don't have parents. So they're some kind of immaculate conception. We don't know if like how that came about, because like, you know, there is references. It's speculated that Palpatine created Anakin using the dark side. So someone else could create another person using the dark side. Like that's not a scandalous idea to explore in this as well. And I think if you're throwing that shit, or Ki-Adi-Mundi's supposed to be 87 in Phantom Menace, but this means he's 120. Who cares? Like, there's worse things, and there's actual problems with the show. That shouldn't be the thing you're focusing on.
I think one of the problems with any Star Wars show is us, the fans, have been watching Star Wars basically from the 1970s or 1980s on up. And I would like to see somebody's opinion who's never seen Star Wars before, what they think of this.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a person around like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Someone new to it, someone fresh to it.
Yeah.
Fuzzy's saying, I don't think anyone involved actually enjoys what they're doing. The actors feel disengaged and the writing feels to be written with spite and contempt. I would agree with that, because there's not a lot of oomph in this. I mean, even the lead Jedi, I think, struggles because he doesn't speak much English. So he's saying the words, but I'm not sure he understands.
I think you settle into that. But for me, it's I think the big problem is the tone. Like, you have these very serious, like the newest one has this kind of hard cut to the Jedi all dead, like zoomed close in their faces, they're rotting corpses. Very serious thing. But then in the same episode, you have this little fucking beaver man trying to pick a fight with the girl, and then the robot splashes her in the face with oil and she does a scream, you know? And it's like, what is that? Like, I would have, if this show had like the same seriousness and tone of like Andor, I think it could have been really special, you know. But it's what we don't need the silliness. It's not charming. It's just stupid.
Never
So
seen you
stupid.
so animated, James. You're
Calm down,
getting-
man.
Yeah, just
I'm-
chill,
I'm-
mate.
I'm-
Just
I'm-
chill.
yeah.
Just
No,
just relax.
this was the one I was looking forward to the most. I'm upset. I'm actually upset. I'm disappointed.
If,
you need
if
a
it ever
minute?
comes out on
Do you-
DVD, I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah. Do you need
Blu-ray,
a few
please.
minutes, James? Do you need a few minutes
I'll be
just
fine.
to
I'll be fine.
just to
I'll be
compose
fine.
yourself?
We're talking about a good Star Wars thing in a few slides, so
Okay, Werewolf by Night. I really enjoyed this. So this is not your usual Werewolf by Night, Jack Russell. This is the version of Werewolf that came a little bit later on. I can't remember his name. Written by a pop star or something. I want to say someone from the Black Eyed Peas. This is tied in with the Blood Hunt series. It's not bad. It's a pretty kind of generic people in a theme park. Someone gets possessed, and then by the end, the moon comes back out, and Werewolf kicks off. But the thing I did like about this is it gets incredibly graphic, far more graphic than I expected. The werewolves like ripping people's heads off and things and shredding them to bits. Leading up to this particular version of the werewolf has been a character who's got control of the werewolf nature. He listens to music and it calms him down, so he's not kind of a rabid beast. This ends that. So by the end of this little one shot, he's back to being a kind of an uncontrolled animal at the end of it. So pretty cool. Internal artwork wasn't the best, I don't think, but it's not a bad little tie into Blood Hunt. Are any of you up to speed with Blood Hunt? Are you reading that?
no,
I've been reading
read
it,
any of it. I planned to because I was reading Blade, and I got up to Dracula, the Dracula team up bit, and I haven't read past that. So I assumed Blood Hunt, because that was only like December. So I assume Blood Hunt only starts a few issues after that. So
So
Pretty cool. You're reading it different.
yeah, I've been reading it. But on going back to this one really quick, is this a brand new comic book character then? Who's the werewolf?
So no, there was a mini series a little while ago, Werewolf by Night. I can't remember the character's name. But basically he's on a reservation, and I can't remember the full details of the story. Like I say, it was written by some pop star or something, and it was all right. It wasn't good by any stretch of the means.
Okay.
But this was decent. This was okay. Efren, you've been reading this.
So this issue just came out recently, just an issue number 1. And God, there's so many Star Wars comic books that have been out there throughout the year. So for them to come up, in my opinion, for something fresh, I really enjoyed this book. I was reading it. It says Marvel Star Wars Inquisitors, and they're after this one Jedi. This is after Order 66, and he's becoming like a cult follower. People are looking up to him to lead the way, and his character's name is Tensu Run. It's a brand new character from Star Wars. I never heard of him before, and they're after him because they're afraid, especially Darth Vader too. They're after him because they think people are, this would start like a rebellion. They look up to somebody.
Okay.
And it's been a good issue so far. And I read it, and then after I read it, Fuzzy, you're not gonna like me saying this, but the writer is Rodney Barnes.
Right.
Rodney Barnes Star Wars thing. Now that sounds interesting.
And
I
I
didn't
was
know
like,
this is a thing. I'll have to pick this up.
Yeah, I go, wow, this is better than I thought it would be. So,
But this is an original story then, because Rodney normally does the kind of the.
And just when you think, just when we like, for example, Avengers Twilight, something new and fresh. And to me, they're going after this one Jedi who survived Order 66. And after the first issue says, I'm tired of running. I'm going after them.
Yeah.
And that's where issue 1 stops off at, and it gives a little brief history of the Inquisitor too, especially the main character, how he became, Inquisitor. So I highly recommend it. I really enjoyed it. I was surprised.
I love the look of this. Inquisitors are one of my favorite elements of Star
Yeah.
Wars. Like I love just the concept of them, and find that interesting. So like for this to explore some of them, I think that's really cool. So Rodney Barnes is a great writer as well. So
yeah, it took me completely by surprise.
is it a one shot or is it a miniseries?
No, it's a miniseries. Issue 1
many
just came out
issues
like about a
is
week
there
or
gonna be?
two. I don't know,
Okay.
probably about 4 or 5. I'm assuming they're
Right.
usually.
Okay. Yeah. I'll
It's really good. I like to hear what you think about it, James. So
I'll
Check it out, James. Check it out.
Yeah.
Tomorrow maybe.
Sticking with Star Wars, James, I don't even know what this is. I've not seen this.
This is Tales of the Empire. So last year there was a thing called Tales of the Jedi, and it was 6 episodes. They were only about 15 to 20 minutes each. 3 episodes covered Ahsoka. It was like her, her as a baby, and then her as a youngling, and then her kind of, after Order 66. And the second half was about Dooku. So it was like how Dooku kind of fell to the dark side. So this one's same thing, 6 episodes, 2 different characters. So one is Morgan Elsbeth. So the witch woman from Ahsoka.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Thrawn's second in command. So it's her as during the Night Sister massacre is one episode. There's one episode how she met Thrawn. An episode of her right before Ahsoka attacks in the Mandalorian.
Okay.
And then the second half is a character. Peter, you're not gonna know this character, but it's a character from the Clone Wars called Barriss Offee. So she, in the Clone Wars show, she bombed the Jedi Temple and framed Ahsoka, and the reason Ahsoka left the Jedi.
Okay.
And when Ahsoka was coming out, do you remember that character Marek? There was a character that everybody was like, "Oh, it's going to be this character." This was the character that people thought it was going to be.
Right. Okay.
So it's 3 episodes about her becoming an Inquisitor and stuff. Like it's very cool. So like it's an hour. The entire thing is an hour and a half. Like all the episodes together. So like it's an easy watch. I just love the show. I think like I don't know if it's because it's so condensed. The animation is just like it's look a little bit more polished than I think. Like I've been watching the Bad Batch lately as well, and I think it's a little bit higher. But like it's gorgeous, really cool. Explore some characters I didn't know much about in a really interesting way.
Have to check that out. Looks
great.
interesting.
So just watch it. It's an easy watch. It's very good.
That first part of it was that lady from what would you say, the witch, right? From the
So it's Thrawn's second in command, the witch, the Dathomirian, the Night Sister woman.
The one who fought Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Is it the same? Is she voicing the character too, or is it somebody else?
So the first episode, she's only like a teenager, but
Okay.
that woman voices her mom, and then in the second two, it's the actress.
Yeah, I plan to check it out because I've seen the Jedi one. That was really good.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I'll probably just give that a watch as well because you can. I mean, an hour and a half or whatever. That's not much at all, is it?
If you just want to watch the one character's set of stories, you can do that if you want to as well. So like, it's good. I really like this format though. I hope they do like Tales of the Bounty Hunters and Tales of the Rebels and stuff like that. You know?
I don't get why Star Wars doesn't push these animated series more. You know, like the Bad Batch. You know, when it ended, they didn't even give it much fanfare, and I thought it was a great series. It's like they're pushing the wrong things for some reason.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We've got Shiny in the chat. Is Reva in the comic? She's really interesting character to me, even though everyone hates her. Was she in the comic you've just, the Inquisitors comic, Efren?
Not yet, no. She's going to show up not yet.
Do you know the second sister?
No.
She's from the Jedi Fallen Order game. She's the villain in that. She's amazing.
Okay.
One of my favorite Star Wars characters, so she's in that. I'd be like, yeah, I want to see that.
Very cool. Another quick comic book review. I'm loving this. Any of you guys reading The Holy Roller?
Yep.
Yeah? This is just silly fun. Yes. James, this is about... I mean, it's mad just saying it. This is about Ebola. Yeah. Who comes back to his hometown. He's from a Jewish family. His dad loved bowling. There's an altercation.
Is that Hitler with boobs?
That's Hitler with boobs. He becomes the bowler, and then it turns out the town's mayor or something is trying to brainwash everybody. And this is the kind of the avatar of Hitler that's convincing everybody to do what they want to do.
That's a sharp left turn, that.
Do you know what? It's just great fun. It's really good fun. And it's written by someone from, what you call it, Thingy 9-0? Brooklyn
Remender.
Andy Samberg.
No. Andy Samberg, yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah, sorry, I heard he was doing a thing, okay.
It's just, it's, I mean, Dead Man's Saying, the last issue was really out there. Absolutely. It's just bonkers. And it started off relatively kind of sane. And then now you've got to him and his mates all in bizarre costumes. And he's got like trick bowling balls that do weird stuff.
You know,
I love that idea. That's hilarious.
It's just really good fun. Fuzzy's saying it's his favourite route every month. I want it made for TV. It would actually make a cracking TV show. I'm not sure how you would put Hitler with boobs on TV.
I'll give it to Amazon, they'll do it.
I've just clocked the little Pokemon Hitler as well at the bottom.
Pikachu,
yeah. So yeah, well worth a read.
There's a Transformer there as well, isn't
there? Yeah, there's everything. It's a great little story. Well worth picking that one up. James saw this today and I thought immediately of you, bud. This is from Premiere Toys. This is Fury, a Goddess, based on the latest Mad Max movie, Furiosa. What do you think of this?
So my dilemma. Well, I think it looks stunning. I think the sculpt looks great. It's the metal arm and everything. Only thing is like the wrist isn't seamless. But like I think the cape and everything, all the accessories looks incredible. My dilemma is that I have a Tom Hardy Mad Max coming, So do I get this, or do I get, like, I think there is a Charlize Theron Furiosa as well. But I don't know, it'd be like I'd have Mad Max for Fury Road and Furiosa for the Furiosa movie, and that'd be how I do it. So I don't know.
I think you've got to get this. I think
I should get this, shouldn't I?
for me,
That's great.
the sculpt, particularly when she's got the goggles and the hood on there,
Yeah,
it's spot on.
Yeah,
It's absolutely
100%.
spot on.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
you sold me
very
on
cool.
board with this.
It's a nice looking figure. Nice looking figure. Right. Annihilation 2099. Either of you guys read this yet?
Not yet. No. But
So
I
this
will.
is okay, Efren. So you might want to shut your ears in a second. This is a kind of a continuation of the Annihilation 2099 series. It's introducing us to a whole host of new characters. We've got a Dracula mini coming up, and there's a follow-on tale in this to Dracula. Can't remember who else. There's a whole host of new ones. But this is the first kind of appearance of Nova 2099. I loved this. Fuzzy's saying bollocks in the chat. I really enjoyed this. So this for me is very much a kind of a Nova version of Judge Dredd. He's very kind of gritty. He's got guns instead of using kind of his normal powers. It's setting him up very much as kind of the lawman going to different areas. In this issue, he fights a load of venomized bad guys, basically. So I was enjoying this. And then we get the twist at the end. So, Efren, if you don't like spoilers, shut your ears and eyes. But there's a bit
I'm
of a
okay
twist.
with it.
So, this is set in 2099. This character's been a lawman all this time. And at the end, he's beaten and he's about to go down. And then you get just a little sound panel. And you get a snicked. And it turns out that it's Wolverine.
Wow.
Nice.
Damn it, you spoiled it.
Which totally threw us. I wasn't expecting it, to be honest, at all. Even though I'd seen a cover for, I think, a later issue, and he looked like he had Wolverine clothes, and I just assumed he'd
Different character.
put the clothes on or something. I didn't for a second think it was Wolverine.
Do
But I was actually quite intrigued by this. I quite liked it. It was good.
you think it's the 616 Wolverine or just some other alternate?
No, it's a 616, so it's
it
the
is?
2099 universe. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
That's right. Yeah.
isn't 2099 now like a different? It's not the
I'm not
future
sure.
of the main universe. It's just a different universe, isn't it? Like,
No,
I don't know, 'cause-
Miguel O'Hara has been showing up in Spider-Man throughout the
Yeah.
years, so he's
yeah, but
going
isn't he from an alternate universe? 2099, not
Oh, I
like
see what you mean.
the year 2099 in the main universe.
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
Well, the original 2099 was Marvel 616. It was just in the
Yeah.
future.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
who knows?
But like, the problem is going to be
Yeah.
when we hit 2070, and it's like, oh, this is
a good
supposed to be
point.
20 years from now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Von Hooter saying I actually hear good things about this, which never happens with 2099. Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, worth a read. Fuzzy wasn't a fan. It did absolutely nothing for me. However, I've never seen the attraction. I thought it was muddled all over the place. I wasn't so keen on the Dracula tale at the end, but I really enjoyed this. But I'm a bit of a Dread fan, and I enjoyed that kind of aesthetic and version of this character. So yeah, worth a read, I think. Right, now I'm not up to speed with this, but I don't mind spoilers. I've seen the first episode.
I'm not going to spoil.
We've decided that we're going to wait and watch it all when it's finished in one kind of weekend or something like that.
Bastards. I can't talk. I can only say shit. Okay, you watched the first one, and after
Seen the
not seen
first
any.
Yeah, I've seen the first one too.
Okay, nice. Why would you decide that, man? Watch it week to week. It's so good.
I have a life, James. I've got stuff happening, mate. I've got to.
You don't have 45 bloody minutes or an hour.
I'm channeling my inner Luke. I haven't got time to watch this TV.
Yeah. Last night's episode, I stay up at 2 until 2 in the morning to watch new episodes because I'm loving the show so much and I'm so excited for it. The last episode really was like one of the best episodes of television I've seen in a long time.
I've seen
really kicked me
Graydon's
off.
giving it 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. I don't know. I think just contrary to like the Acolyte, shit's happening in this every episode. We're 4 episodes into, I think, a 9 or 10 episode season, and like so much has happened already. And so a lot of people are complaining because the end of the last season felt like, ooh, next, like it's kicking off, and this has still kind of been building. Or the first 3 episodes were, at least anyway. Like the war hadn't really properly started.
Yeah.
Pieces are being moved around, but nobody's taken the first attack yet.
Yeah.
but it's kicking off now. It's proper kicked off, and yeah, it's awesome. I think the characters are great. I'm loving every storyline. I find intriguing. Performances are fantastic. The effects are great. Just like the dragon stuff is just so good, and I like how they're like the newest episode in particular. I think really just highlights like the devastation of like a battle with a dragon involved, you know, and how like harrowing that could be for the little people involved in that, where they're just like they're following their liege lord or whatever, and you have these monsters in the sky. You know, it's incredible. I think like this show.
I'm working my way through the latest season of Superman. If I get that finished, because I'm watching Acolyte and I'm watching Boys weekly, but if I get Superman finished, I'll jump straight onto this and try and catch up. I think.
Does anyone know when this takes place? How many years in the past?
So it is. It is 200, about 200 years.
Wow! So they may make another show in between the 200.
They are making another show between. It's called A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So that's based on like this is based on a kind of it's called Fire and Blood. It's like a history book. Like in universe, so it's from it's like a lot of kind of contradictory versions of the story.
Okay,
where it's like one maester says this, and there's a jester who tells a different version of what I think this actually happened. So the show has a lot of leeway in what they can show happen in it. But there's another show being worked on. It's filming now, I think. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and that's about like it's called a hedge knight. He's a knight that doesn't have a family. He's not associated to a house. He's just kind of a wanderer, like a Ronin almost.
Now,
are these him and his little apprentice like kind of going around?
Do you guys know if these new shows are they written by the certain person who did Game of Thrones, or just like?
Well, they're based on George R. R. Martin wrote Fire and Blood and Roche Dunkenegg, which is.
But did he write this book? Did he write books for this series too, or is it just in the same universe? So
Fire and Blood. It's a history book.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, and I think he's involved with writing some of the show. I think as well.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll catch up because I do like the series, so I will catch up. Yeah. Either of you guys getting this piece of shit?
I've seen it. You know, like dang, not me.
No. So this is C3PO in Lego.
Say that again.
C3PO in Lego. 1,138 pieces of tat. Look at the state of it.
It's 15 inches.
That's what she said.
So it's like barely big. How is it like 1,200 pieces and it's barely bigger than a 6?
I have no idea. It's $140. That's what it is. $140.
It looks like shit. Like it looks like I would have thought a 3PO would be easy enough, like a Lego thing to look 80% of the way to the actual 3PO. It just doesn't. Like the eyes, I think, the face.
One Hoot's not a fan.
No.
Bills, I've got to get this because the wife bought me R2D2. Yeah, if you've got R2D2, you have to get this, mate. You have to get this. It's not for me. Not for me at all. Is that where the circular bit is on C3PO? Is it not higher up in his chest? Or am I thinking Iron Man?
You think Iron Man, that's where it is.
That's about right, is it?
Yeah. His hips to his kind of...
No, not for me. Not for me. Right. I want to end on this because this has disturbed me greatly. You guys familiar with the Savage Dragon comic book?
I'm familiar with it, but I've never read it, but I know the character.
Yeah, same.
So Savage Dragon was a comic that started back when the whole Image thing happened, and it's written and drawn by Eric Larson, and he's continued to write and draw it ever since. First couple of years I read it, and it's quite interesting. It's basically the Hulk who you don't know the backstory at first, and then he joins the police force, and the story's just continued ever since. I've totally lost off with it. Haven't read it for probably 10-15 years. Eric Larson used to do Spider-Man and all kinds of stuff, and he's a pretty accomplished artist. I think people would say. I saw this, and it had the Mickey Mouse character on the front, and I thought, oh, I'll pick it up and just see what the crack is, because Mickey Mouse, obviously, or Steamboat Willie, is in public domain now. This really threw me for a loop. Let us know in the comments, excuse me, if anybody's read this and what they thought of it. So there were two things that threw us. One, the artwork was flaming awful. But the main thing is, and I've cropped the images here, but the girl with the pink backpack is Savage Dragon's girlfriend, I believe. Okay. And she is stark naked throughout the entirety of this comic. And when I say naked, I mean there's great detail given to parts of the female anatomy.
Right.
And the story is this Mickey Mouse character basically trying to rape her each page and grab a hold of her. And at one page, there's sound effects because he grabs her from underneath and the top, and his fingers go places, and there are noises like squelch and things. There's a bit where she's bent over and there's stuff dripping out of her. It just absolutely floored us. I thought, what the hell am I reading here? What's happened to Eric Larson in terms of decency and taste?
Just really hates Disney, I guess. So
it's not.
like,
but it wasn't.
I know because it's free. It's free use.
No,
now,
it wasn't
so.
the Disney element, to be honest, James. It was the depiction of women. I thought, how can you get away with this in this day and age? It was very, very near knuckle, and I can't see any kind of, don't read age limit kind of stuff on the comic and things like that. I would recommend you have a little look at it at some point. Just Google it.
I am now.
It just shocked us. It absolutely shocked. I will not be picking up another issue, put it that way, because it was just horrible.
Is there any like public kind of feedback on this, or anybody?
I gather he's been doing.
And
not that I've seen. I gather he's been writing women and drawing women in this way for a long time. His female characters have always had very large chest areas and pert appendages, shall I say. But this was just downright vile at points. I'll send you some screenshots just so because I just couldn't believe it. Believe it. Yeah. Let us know in the comments if anyone's read it. It did make us think about decency, which was horrific, to be honest.
Does the character call himself Mickey? Or
I can't remember. I don't think so.
It'd be Willie. You'd have to call him like Steamboat Willie because Mickey's still technically.
Oh, that's right.
Is this the issue where you see her lady bits? It absolutely is.
I'm gonna go read it right now. I'll be back.
Is that Star Wars Marvel fans walloping Mickey with a baseball bat? Yeah, it should be. And Deadman Savage Dragon written in real time. So that's Savage Dragon's son, I believe. Only ever read a crossover. I think you're right, Deadman. I think you're right. Kenneth's here. Nice to see you, Kenneth. I hope you're well. Fuzzy, vile, mate. But you're absolutely spot on because you see that it panels in the comic. So yeah, one to avoid. I would suggest people avoid that. Okie dokie, that's all I had to talk about tonight. We're nearing an hour, which is perfect timing. Anything you guys want to mention before we move on to kind of what's coming up on our channels?
Tomorrow, all three of us will be back at 12 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock your time. It's my monthly show where we ask each other 3 questions, mostly comic book related or geek related, nerd related, and anybody who watches, if you want to leave a comment, with the questions too. And it will be both on my channel and on Peter's channel broadcast, so either channel.
Looking forward to that. It's the usual one where we've got a selection of different questions and things, which will, I think, tease and tantalize because we've got some interesting ones there. So lots of good stuff coming up. I just wanted to mention Sunday night I had the pleasure of interviewing Mr. X. Mr. X being a bit of a divisive character at times, I think, in the collecting community, but I found him an absolute charm. He was superb to interview, and he was very cool in that he went mobile for on a number of occasions and toured around his house, which is just obscene. Absolutely obscene. So if you want to see what an awful lot of money looks like in statues and comics, go and check that out because it was breathtaking. So that was a lovely show. He was a great guy. God almighty, this guy Cliff on comics, just I fell in love with Cliff. Such a little ball of energy and joy. So please do check that show out. That was on Saturday night. He's just a laugh a minute. So yeah, worth checking that one out. He showed some cool stuff as well. Went live on my channel earlier today as myself and James talking about Starship Troopers. It's about 9 minutes long, so please do go give that one a look. Let me know in the comments what you think of Starship Troopers, if it's a movie that you've watched and enjoyed. I particularly enjoyed rewatching it. It's a film that I haven't seen for a long time, but I loved. And I think it's fair to say, James, you liked it as well?
I'm doing my part.
Yeah.
It was good fun.
Superb. Then, James, what have we got happening over on One Good Scare?
There is plenty going on One Good Scare. So we have a spoiler review for A Quiet Place Day 1. We just had I'll Be Right Back on X. So that was a lot of fun. That was a risky edit. I had to blur quite a lot. I was actually looking. I was about to export it, and then I said I better double check in case I missed it. And I missed a PP frame. So I'm like, well, good thing I found that. And we are going to have spoiler review from Maxine tomorrow evening. So there's that. And then we'll be live on Friday night as well at 9.
Yeah, live show Friday night. And I've got lots to talk about on Friday because I've seen a couple of films. Two films that you've not seen yet. So I saw that utter crap at the cinema,
which I'll be seeing on Saturday or so. Yeah.
And then I watched this My House. I don't know if you've seen that one yet. About a refugee who comes to the UK and ends up in a haunted house.
No, you were talking about it. Yeah.
Superb. I really enjoyed that one. You wouldn't like that one, Efren. Scary. Yeah. Avoid that one. Avoid. And then, as Efren said, tomorrow night, 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock your time.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, we're going to be doing a questions session. So looking forward to that. That's your whack. Thank you so much to you guys as usual, and a huge thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys have been brilliant, and we will see you all hopefully tomorrow night. Catch you next time. Bye.